All right, y'all. So let's talk about this. So going live yesterday with some guys on TikTok. The topic of Anthony Joshua versus Andre Ward came up. Now this came up because at the end of the Anthony Joshua Jake Paul fight, Anthony Joshua said that he wanted to fight Tyson Fury in 2026. Of course, she is about to end next week. So what happened is, I don't know if this is true or not, and I don't even remember the guy's name. Some guy that's not even worth remembering. Okay, is I saw there was a guy who said that there was this guy that Anthony Joshua was supposed to be fighting. Now I don't know if this would be a stay busy fight. If anything, probably. When you get to the level Anthony Joshua is on, how many tune-up fights do you need? Like, a pro is a pro, man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not, it's like when Ali came back after not fighting for 3.5 years, people feel like he should have fought more. He only fought 2 fights. They feel like he should have fought at least 2 or 3 more times, before he fought Joe. Right. And he didn't. So what happened, whatever. But AJ hasn't fought in 15 months, okay? 1 year and 3 months before he fought, Jake Paul. I don't know if that's true or not, so I'm not going to harp on that. But then this person did send he posted sent a screenshot. But in this day and time, people do make up a lot of fake stuff, and you can be fooled. So I don't know if that's true or not. But long story short, so we didn't dig into that because it was like I see nothing on AJ's channel and nobody else's channel about anything, or nothing else all over the web about it. So I don't know. But anyway, Andre Ward's name came up because people were saying, well, yo, Dre been saying this and this and that. Okay, first off, let me say this first. I don't think that fight ever happens at all. It's not going to happen. Andre Ward has been out for way too long. He's been saying this for way too long. And if it happens, it happens. But I think it doesn't happen. And I'm not really interested in this fight. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm not. Okay, you can be interested in whatever you want. But me, the reason I'm not interested in this fight. 1, Anthony Joshua got unfinished business with Dubois. He should. Anybody beat you, you want to beat them. Now, AJ's mindset could also be Dubois might get in the way of a bigger bag. He already said he want, Tyson Fury. Well, Fury is no guarantee he's going to get that because Fury just talks and runs his mouth. Now, he went out of his way to tell AJ when he see him, he's going to do this, and he's not going to do a goddamn thing, and everybody knows it. But he didn't take the time to say, okay, cool, I'm glad you want to fight because I want to put hands on you. No, he says nothing. Okay, so we don't know if that's going to happen. So my thing is, AJ, Fury, Usyk, Wilder, all of them are pretty much in the position of they're not going to be around too much longer. Now, AJ's 36. He said he wanted to fight until he was 38. People do change their minds. Maybe he might exit sooner, or he might exit later, or at 38. Who knows? But there's Fabio Wortley out there. You know what I mean? There's still Deontay Wilder. He's still hanging around. There's a rematch with Joseph Parker. You understand what I mean? There's fights out there for him. Anthony Joshua versus Andre Ward is not a mega fight. Because we know of Andre Ward, people are thinking like what he used to do and what he was and how. This is a whole generation of people that don't even know who Andre Ward is out here now. And in fact, the people that know of him as a commentator is not really thinking about, I'm not talking about us that know of him. I'm talking, you got to remember, there's a whole new generation of people that don't even know who Andrea Ward is. So now you got to do video packages of what he's done, and the fact they look like, who the hell is this little guy? This little guy is going to fight Big Anthony Joshua. Who's going to pay big money for AJ versus Ward? Who's going to invest in AJ versus Ward? Like, you understand what I'm saying? This is not a big money fight. This is not some huge spectacle fight. Here's a guy who hasn't fought in a long time. And I feel like the only way that Andrea Ward would actually really do this is if they're going to offer him $30, $40 million or whatever. And who the fuck is going to offer him that? Anthony Joshua already sent him an offer, and then he followed up with a tweet. You guys remember that? And he said, don't try to overprice yourself, right? And make it all about the money. Ask for too much money. And Ward responded with, hey, champ, ain't it always about the money? You understand what I'm saying? And you've never heard Andrea Ward dig into that and talk about it anymore. He always just say, like I always tell everybody, there's only one fight I'll come out of retirement for. He says that, but it's been years he's been saying this. It's not going to happen. And if AJ falls off the mark so bad that Andrea Ward makes his mind up and say he wants to fight, again, who's going to put up big money for that? Like, who's really just saying, I want to see AJ versus Andrea Ward? Look, Andrea Ward was never a big puncher. He was always like, he wore you down with volume. Like, but it was never like he just devastating power. And when he went up to light heavyweight, you can see the same thing. It's not like he had a big punch that just carried over. No, it was him having to just constantly chip away at you with shots. He doesn't have, even as a light heavyweight, his power wasn't, so what's going to happen at heavyweight? He's going to be slower. How tall is Andre? 6 feet, so he'll probably come in maybe 210, between 212, 215, something like that. Too heavy won't be good for him. He has a smaller frame naturally. When you have you ever see like how I pointed out something and then Roy Jones pointed it out. When he was like saying, yeah, you see how big Mike Tyson's head is compared to mine? And I was saying the same thing. I was pointing out to my son, you see the difference. Your bone density, the thicker your skeleton, all that. This is why you can hit a guy much bigger than you. And even if you wobble him, like if he's able to, stand out, if you was his size, more likely he's going down. You understand what I mean? So if two guys are 250 fucking pounds, right? But one dude head and neck, like you can see that, like where he's just naturally, it's like, okay, y'all the same weight, but he looks so much heavier. That's when you're naturally just a bigger person. And it's much harder for you to hurt somebody like that when you don't really have devastating power, like big power. I just don't see a reason for this fight to happen. And I feel like for this to happen, think about it. What did this do for Anthony Joshua to go in there and beat up on little Andrea Ward, other than, okay, he asked, he wanted it, and I gave it to him? Because for that matter, you got other heavyweights out there that you could have fought, and I don't see anybody digging down in their bank account going, yo, AJ versus Ward, this is huge. No, it's not. It's not a huge fight. And on top of that, if you're so concerned about somebody's safety, both fighters, things can happen to any fighter, but I'm just saying, like, let's be real. Andrea Ward doesn't use his legs much. He'll slide back, he'll sidestep, stuff like that, step around, but he's right there. And when AJ used that jab, AJ has a good jab, a nice, strong jab. He might get hurt worse than Jake Paul. I feel like he would, because he's not going to run. He's going to be right there in front of him, just that little slide back step. He's not slippery up top. He just like catch shots, he parries, and he steps back and steps around. He can't out jab AJ. He doesn't have a longer jab, and he has no power to really do anything with that with AJ. What's the purpose? The ego can cause you to put yourself in that situation to prove what? Like, what are you trying to do? You understand what I mean? So I don't think this fight happens. I think Andre see things in AJ that he think he could exploit, but subconsciously he knows this is, like he says, it'd be a dangerous fight for my career. Then he says it'd be a dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua's career. And the truth of the matter is, man, I don't see Andre Ward doing anything other than getting knocked out, like hurt. And the only way he won't get like really beat up is because he won't be really taking punches, because he'll be knocked out with like one punch. He got dropped by Kovalev, and if you look at it, he was getting hit a lot by Kovalev's jab. And I know, as a heavyweight, it's different. Like, people always talk about this weight class is for a reason. So just because you balloon yourself up, and we don't even know that he'd be 215. He might be 205 or something, or 200 pounds. Andre Ward is not a big dude, man. And when you've been out this long, see, if he's still training and keeping himself in shape, that probably makes him feel confident. But Team Anthony Joshua is not looking for no fight with no Andre Ward. Andre Ward is the one saying that, but he sent the offer to him, like, okay, cool. And he made it known. So everybody know an offer was sent. But again, there's no big buzz about it. Who's interested in this fight? You see what I mean? So there are some people that's like, yo, I think it'd be a good. I don't think it'd be no good fight. I think Andre gets fucked up bad. I think he gets hurt. He might get his jaw broken as well. And I was noticing, because I was looking at Roy Jones when he was sitting next to Andre Ward on their show, and I'm saying, yeah, now look at him and look at Roy. He's physically smaller than Roy right now. You understand what I'm saying? And not only that, his head is no bigger than Roy's. He got, different hairstyle, but just, so I'm like, nah, it'll be a bad uphill fucking battle for Andre Ward. And just to serve your ego, I mean, to come in there and get beat the fuck up and then say, what, I dared to be great after all these years? Like, you got no one to hold him and no one to fold him. For Anthony Joshua, it does absolutely nothing for him. And then you'll have a reputation fighting way smaller guys, and then they're going to resort to talking about how you got knocked out by Daniel Dubois and how he don't want the rematch with Dubois. And this is what I'm saying. I would want to fight the motherfucker that beat me. Like, fuck, nah. No, you understand what I mean? So for you to accept the fight with Jake Paul for massive money, you're not going to get that, not even close to that, fighting Andre Ward. So what would the purpose be? Stay busy, keep active, pick up some easy money, and then what? Hoping it leads to bigger paydays. He's training with Usyk, so more than likely there'll be no fight 3 between them. If Wilder and Usyk actually happens, because nothing's been official, but if it actually does happen, right? Now let's just say if Usyk lost, does Wilder call out AJ? Does AJ call out Wilder? If Usyk goes in there and do what pretty much everybody think he's going to do, and that's just dispose of Wilder, then what? Does AJ say, all right, I had my 2 chances and that's that, or does he move on to who? Because according to him, he wants to fight Tyson Fury. But can we put trust in anything Fury says? No. So there's better options than Andre Ward. And that's why I'm not interested in this fight. I just feel like everybody got into this whole, thing of people going up in weight, like Crawford going up in weight. Crawford's not the first person that jumped up weight classes and beat somebody. Ray Leonard knocked out Donnie Lalonde. He went up, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. He did the same thing. He jumped up there and fought Donnie Lalonde. He didn't go up there and have a bunch of warm-ups and nothing like that. He just went in there and fought Donnie Lalonde. You had other people who jumped up. Holyfield, went all at the heavyweight. Chris Bird went all at the heavyweight. So there's other fighters who've done it. So it's not like it's the same. It's like it's something that's new. It's just like people now thinking, but you never know. Yeah. But I just don't feel that Andre Ward would be that guy to be in that you never know situation against AJ. I think he gets destroyed. All right? And I would consider this a circus fight. Andrea Ward is a real fighter. Well, why it's a circus fight? What's the purpose? Just think, out of the blue, Andrea Ward versus Anthony Joshua. For what? One guy trying to make history and stroke his own ego just by saying, what, I came back and beat a heavyweight. AJ don't have a belt. Andre, you understand what I mean? So, like, what is this fight for? And it does absolutely nothing for Anthony Joshua. Nothing. You're supposed to beat this dude. It does nothing for him. So, I just don't see the point in the fight. As for AJ, and looking at 36, so just say 2 years from now, like he said he want to retire when he's 38. It's not like AJ's going to have 3-4 fights in 1 year. That's not the way it is. This is planning shit strategically. You understand what I mean? So if he can get the Tyson Fury fight, okay, whenever that would be, we don't know. If he has a stay busy fight in between that time, don't know. Don't know what he's doing. Okay? But if you don't get the Fury fight, what's the other option? AJ, Fury, Usyk, Wilder, all of them at some point have already went through that phase of having somebody believe at some point in their career that they were the best heavyweights out there. All right? So they're past that point. This is not about I want to prove to the world I'm still the best heavyweight. No. This is I want the opportunity to fight for the biggest paycheck I can get. And yeah, I want to win. But it's not about me claiming to be the best heavyweight. Or it's, hey, we already done that. Let's make this money as well. And they were already making money. But that's what this is. So that's why you constantly hear these fighters saying, if it makes sense. So I don't really see any of them. Like example, everybody's saying, yo, Usyk is still the same fighter, right? So he could go and fight Moses Atama. Why do you think he don't want to fight Moses Atama? I'm going to tell you why. He's dangerous. He has a little buzz going about his name, but he's not been in the position of having a huge money fight. You understand what I'm saying? That's why if a fight with Usyk and Wilder does happen, it's like, how many last hurrahs is Wilder going to have? You understand what I mean? Because if that does happen and then he beats Wilder like he's really supposed to, what does he do? Does he challenge AJ for a third fight? What does he do? And if he's not going to fight AJ, Joseph Parker just lost, so, or Fabio Wardley, then, like, you know, who is he going to fight? You understand what I'm saying? Beat Dubois twice, beat AJ twice, beat Fury twice. So if he goes and this fight happens and he beats Wilder and he decides to not retire, this is my point. Why would you fight Joseph Parker after that when Fabio Wardley beat him? See, well, whoever the bigger draw is, that's where they pull themselves to. And, you know, it's like looking at Terrence Crawford. People that's like saying they don't think he really retired. Then you got people saying, yeah, he retired. I don't know what he's doing, and that's his decision. But all these guys, 38, 39, like, what is it that they're trying to do? Like, greed will cause you to end up just like Jake Paul, with a broken jaw in 2 places, and you land up in the hospital having to get all this surgery on your damn face and all that, and screws and implants and all that, simply because why? Nothing is ever enough. More and more and more. But against who? You see what I'm saying? Against who? And then what? So all this history, legacy, this, you know, at some point, it's like, you know what, man, I had a great career. I did what I did. It's time to walk away. Then you got these retarded Terrence Crawford fans talking about, oh, man, I want to see him break a Floyd Mayweather. Hey, I know you want to see him break Floyd Mayweather's record. It's way too late for that shit. This dude is almost 40 years old already, man. And how many more fights you think he got in him? When he out of his own mouth said he only want 2 fights, a rematch with Errol Spence, and then the fight with Canelo. He already got the Canelo fight. Canelo has shown no interest in a rematch with Crawford. And that's all it is, the same thing. Crawford only wants to fight if the money is what he already made or more. Understand what I'm saying? So, in other words, there's no demand. Like, we need Crawford to stay. If he walk away, he just walks away. Then it's just somebody else in his position. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. That's how it. Nobody stays in the same position forever, man. And that's just what it is. And of all the people that Andre Ward could come back and fight, they shouldn't be heavyweights. Now, if that's what he chooses to do, which I absolutely don't believe he's coming back. But if he chose to do that, AJ, in my opinion, would knock him out cold and would hurt him badly. And all of this for what? For what? Like, that's the big question for me. For what? What is this fight for? One fighter, only one fight I will come back for. And that's AJ. Why? You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because you think you see something that you could exploit, and then what's going to happen? Because the only thing that you could do is try to outbox him. You're not going to knock AJ out. And what's going to happen after you get pulverized by this big guy? I tried, I did to be great, but I came up short. And then you just made a couple more $1 million. But you understand what I'm saying? For what? No belt on the line, nothing. I just want to fight AJ. And if somebody say, well, he's waiting to see if AJ gets a belt, well, for that matter, why not call out Usyk? Because he's the one with all the cards, right? So why not want to fight Usyk? He got the belts. You really want to make history. You see what I'm saying? So, or is it, do you think you can't beat Usyk? Because I don't understand what it is about AJ that he just like think, okay, I just want to be able to say I beat a heavyweight too because Roy Jones did it, or because Chris Berg did it. Or I don't know. I don't understand like what this is, and not to mention, Usyk is a lot smaller than AJ and these other guys. Coming at 230. Well, 230, 230 something, whatever the weight is that he comes in at. But bottom line, even in that, I don't think he beat Usyk either. Usyk fucks him up too. I don't think he beat any real quality heavyweight at all. He's just too small, man. He's undersized, and his style going into as a heavyweight, nah. He'll have all kind of problems. And at his age, he doesn't. I don't think Andre Ward gets it. He probably spar heavyweights too and all that. That's all fine. But when you get that itch and want to jump back in there, and you're not even coming back to a weight class that you're used to, you understand what I'm saying? You're just setting yourself up for failure. You're gonna go in there just to stroke your ego to see if you can do it. Then what? Then AJ, what's the purpose? Why did you take this fight, AJ? What are you going to say? I respect this little middleweight that wound up being a light heavyweight that retired years ago, and he challenged me and he called me out. So, hey, okay, but so did Moses Atama or whoever else, or some other heavyweight called you out as well. You understand what I'm saying? He's no more popular than any of these heavyweights that's out there now. And even when Dre was fighting, he wasn't no super popular guy. Dre wasn't no superstar. You understand what I mean? He was a respectable fighter that had good skills that could box. But I don't know where people get this as a super fight. It's no super fight, man. In your own head, maybe, but this is not going to be some super fight. I mean, hell, come back and challenge Canelo. Come out and challenge Bivol. Come out and challenge Beterbiev. Hell, David Benavidez. I wouldn't suggest he go near them heavyweights. But truthfully, I think it's just talk. Get people to watch his podcast, tune in to watch him doing whatever it is he's doing. Connect his name to AJ. The algorithms something's gonna pop up with Andre Ward and AJ, and more people are gonna see him who don't know him, or more people just pay more attention to what he's doing and watch his show and whatever else he's doing, his commentary. I don't think the fight ever happens. Talk to me in the comment section. What y'all think about Andre Ward claiming he won the fight, AJ, and come up to heavyweight? Let me know. That's all I got for you guys now. Catch you on the next video.